Okay, welcome back everybody to another 8:30 RPG video. We are continuing the Misfortune. We're now into the episode 30 range. We're on 31. Where we left off, we had a small little encounter with a few cultists in a passage out of the Temple Legion. So these, I believe, we're dealing with three cultists. Let's retrace my steps here, despite the fact it's only been one day since I recorded. Three cultists. So I always want to remember to bold things that are important, but this was done in the Epic Solo, or the one-page solo engine, which we will be using. So I have my character sheet here. I have the Misfortune notes that I always copy everything into. I have the map of Bethermule. I have the character list. I have the, quest list. I have the character list. Quest-wise, we are completed. We're almost through the. At least I'm thinking we're almost done with the debt to pay. Um, kind of straggling on the end of the debt to pay because Dervish is dead, and we did owe him the debt. And we still gotta find Sparky, wherever that dog is. Hopefully, we can find Sparky after this little encounter. Then we have the NPC list, and we have a list of locations, which is going to grow slowly over time as we expand on this world, as I'm liking it more and more as we play. So, as usual, One Page Solo Engine is fantastic, and I always like to come back to it every so often. And this will be the second episode in a row I've used it since we took a little break from it. But in any event, I have my dice here ready. You guys can't really see much in the real world, but you're looking at my screen. We are using Swords and Sorcery, the one-page hack of Lasers and Feelings, which it's a great little. This is a great little one-page RPG to use for quick one shots. So I'm kind of using it as a playtest to see how it does for a slightly longer than necessary use of it. And then once we complete the Legion story, the Legion quest, we will jump to a new system in the next whenever episode that might be. That may be. It will most likely be World of Dungeons, going back to that, because World of Dungeons has a leveling system, which is highly intriguing for the concept of having a long campaign, despite it's simpler compared to this one. So simpler combat doesn't have a combat system. It's more of a narrative approach to that, or just kind of left to the imagination. Okay, let's go. Let's just jump straight into the story. So we left off. Encountered, they attacked first, but they failed because of our protection spell that's still most likely active. Let's see if it still is active. Let's see how well the Watcher can cast a protection spell of sorts. So let's say even is the protection spell good to teach me how to type? Is the protection spell still active? No, that attack, though it did save us, it brought down the protection spell. So it's okay because it is now our turn in the attack cycle. So I'd say the attack from the cultists uh brought was blocked, but brought down the protection spell conjured by Watcher. So what I'm going to do from here, to help me keep track of things, I will kind of turn this into a solo journaling RPG, but not too extensively. I'm just going to be a little extra descriptive on main events like that. Okay, I'm thinking that let's see how close our characters are. I'm trying to figure out, trying to map this out in my head as far as who's going to attack first. I can roll a dice for each character that you guys obviously cannot see, but I'm going to roll 3d6s. Sorry, 46s. Red will be me. I'm just rolling the 46s because there's four of us. So the blues are Watcher and company, while red is us. I rolled a 6. Then the other three are 1, 2, and 6. So technically, we did tie. I'm going to say we go first as the main player character, and then the Watcher will go next, followed by the Royalists. So I'm going to attack first, which is going to be per the Swords and Sorcery rules, not the question, hey, do we attack likely or not? Now I'm going to use my weapon of choice, which is Breglor's short sword. So I'm going to equip this. I usually like to bold or underline whichever I have equipped. I'm close, so I don't need to use a longbow. We still got the key. We've got a crown, 2 rations, staff. Still want to look at the staff later on, see what significance that has potentially with the story, including the crown to itself. But like I am saying, we will use the short sword, and then we're going to attack one of the 3 cultists closest to us, with our short sword. So we're going to just strike, do a thrust with our short sword at the closest cultist, and I have to figure out roll our. We are prepared. We are an expert and trained, and then we are the standard roll. So we're doing a physical. So it's swords. We got to roll a 4 or under with the 3d6s. So I'm going to use my 3d6. I'm rolling the dice right now. I have 6 and 6, so I have 2 fails, but I have a 2. So I have 1 good. Now, 1 good, you barely manage it. The GM inflicts complication, harm, or a cost. So let's see. I I strike the nearest cultist. Okay, with my short sword, and then, however, causing that, the cultist will do the following. What happens to the cultist? Assist. I think because I strike the cultist, the one of he doesn't dodge. I strike him because the 1 die does indicate a partial success, not a failure. If I failed all those 3, which would have been bad, I would be just a simple miss and then most likely a retaliatory attack or a counter attack. But an assist does make a little sense to me. I'm just trying to figure out narratively how to implement this. So while we struck with our sword into the closest cultist, one of we did get the cultist. We did stab him, but I don't think it was going to be a vital wound of sorts. So I struck the cultist. But I'm going to say that the other cultist, one of the other 2 remaining, stepped in the way or maybe threw a spell up to probably mess us up somehow. I'm thinking it has to be a defensive spell. So the cultists originally had conjuring of magic fists, like the fire, ice, and kind of 3 elements: fire, ice, and I don't know, electricity, perhaps. So I'm trying to think what would be the complication. I don't really like this. I'm going to take that out. The complication will be, let's do a plot hook. Escort delivered to safety, powerful organization, support of an ally. This does kind of, this does kind of tie into the last roll that I just deleted it. But escort or deliver to say, I think one of, so okay, we did, I did injure the closest cultist with my short sword, but the but an ally of his pulled him back, and perhaps, oh, I have an idea. Uh, Here's what I'll do. Cultist 1 is injured. Let's do the whole encounter in here. I'm focusing too much on the narrative during the combat when I want to focus on the combat itself. So, is injured. Cultist Cultist 2 strikes my weapon with a freeze spell. shattering it. So that makes I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this little twist here, but I was just juggling a couple of ideas. Shattering my sword, perhaps. Okay, so doing that, my sword has been damaged. I'm gonna say it is because I'm using this menu. I'm gonna roll a percentile to see if it did indeed destroy my sword completely, or if we're still in the game with the sword. Because that's I don't think I have a rapier. Nope, that's my only weapon really. Well, besides a longbow. I'm gonna say freezing spell, probably 75% chance. So we're hoping for that 35, 25. 57. It does indeed shatter my sword. So my sword has been shattered and destroyed. Share my sword. My sword. My sword has shattered. So it's destroyed. So we're going to take this weapon out of my inventory. I do have a staff, though. I'm going to quickly equip the staff, grabbing it just by instinct. But it is busted. We still don't know what the staff does. We found it in a locked case. Now, next is the Watcher. The Watcher will use, well, obviously he's a magic user, so he will use a spell. I'm going to look at the list available on the Swords and Sorcery. We have level 0, 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to choose it's close quarters combat, so we don't use anything too wide of a radius. So lightning sword will probably not be the best. I don't think we're going to go that high in rank. We'll do ice bolt just to retaliate against the fireball. I like fireball. We'll use fireball at the nearest cultist, who will be, let's just say it's cultist 2 who stepped in front of the way. Cultist 2. And let's see if this works. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do my percentile roll for the NPCs, for the characters, our companions. We'll say it's going to hit with a 80% chance of success. So we're rolling my dice, and I have a 97. It does not work out for that. So he fires the fireball, but one of the cultists 2 blocks it with the kind of a wave of his hand that just redirects the fireball up into the ceiling. So cultist 2 blocks fireball, redirects it into the ceiling. Now, depending on the ceiling type, we haven't got much detail into the ceiling. Is the ceiling like is it a rock formation, or is it going to be brick? Like, is this cave? I'm thinking this cave is basically just a cut through the mountain itself. So let's say 65% chance this passage is rock based. 8. It is. So it just the fireball just crashes in the ceiling. Now, does that cause a collapse in the ceiling? Perhaps. I'm gonna say 65% chance on that one. So I'm rolling my dice. 62. Wow. So it does create a collapse. Because we are within 5%. It is a significant yes, that based on my own rules. So the ceiling, the rock ceiling collapses. Now, does this rock collapse? Does this collapse the ceiling injure anybody? This is the general question. Does it injure anybody? I'm going to say 60% chance that we're split between our party and theirs. 60% chance. 70. It does not injure anybody. So 60% chance that's not within. That is a standard no. It does not injure anybody. Okay, so what it does is it splits our group up. But unfortunately, we are stuck behind. We're back in the Legion, while they are on the side that goes most likely outside. So splitting our parties into 2. Now, does this end the encounter? I think it does. 80% chance. So let's say 80% chance to end the encounter. Rolling my dice. 29. It does. So encounter is over, we avoided potentially some damage, but I do like that narrative twist. I'm gonna put that in my notes there. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do now with this big pile of rocks blocking us. If we leave this place, we have to either go back, find another way out, which most likely there is. There might have been a hall we missed or a door we haven't tried, or we're gonna see if the Watcher or the cultists act first to lift the rocks up or make a path through or blast their way through. So 50-50 on this one. Who acts first? Does the Watcher? I think the cultists act first. I'm gonna say, do the cultists blast their way through the rubble? 50. It's another 8, so they do. Okay. The cultists. I guess we could have rolled action focus too. I got too carried away on that one. The cultists blast their way through. They're pretty powerful at this point. The rubble. Now, how successful are they in blasting through? Let's just roll a percentile to see how well they do. The higher, the better. 70. They do pretty well. They do carve um, a very large gap through the rubble. So, carving a large gap through the rubble. Carving much? Just a large gap. Okay. Now, with that happening, do any of us do a surprise attack? Is the encounter truly over at this point? We did say it was, but now the cultists are back. The blast hit any one of us. I'm gonna say like the rocks come flicking at us. So do we step back? I'm gonna say 60% chance. 86. Luckily, we were out of the way, so nobody got uh, got hurt from the rubble blast. I'm going to put my dice aside because I'm using that percentile method too often. I want to use the Oracle for anything non-combat related. So, how do the Watcher and let's see, do we react first? Does the Watcher and the Royalists react first? I think they do. So, do the Royal is it Royalists? It's been a while since I referred to them like that. The Royalist. Yep. Okay, just double checking. The Royalist 3, or I should say 2. The Royalist react. The Watcher, Royalist react first. Perhaps a surprise attack. Yes, they do. Okay, so the I'm gonna say that the Watcher will cast another spell, perhaps a way to just blast through them. Now that they're further back a bit, I'm gonna say he does Lightning Storm. So Watcher summons Lightning Storm, which might not be too smart in a small little area, but we'll give it a try. Lightning Storm at the Cultist. So let's roll a D100. We're back in the counter again with that slight little commercial break. I'm gonna say that he has a. Let's see. Let's do it. Let's do this instead of percentile. Let's do 3d6s for him. So he's prepared. He's an expert, and it's just a standard d6 roll. So let's try it for him. Okay, I don't have a number for him, so we'll just go the middle. Let's see, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna say 3 is a number for him. So no, I'm sorry, he's a sorcerer. So let's do 2. That's his focus. He's knowledge, magic. That's the lowest number you can do. So 2 for him. He's got a roll of 2 or higher for these 3d6. 1, 2, and 4. So it's a standard complete. It's a standard success. So yep, job. It's a good job. He did it. Okay, so the lightning strikes all 3 cultists, pushing, oops, pushing them back several yards. Now, does that hurt them? I'll have to use percentile because we are in, or better yet, let's do this. Likely. Does that hurt any of the cultists? Let's see. No, it doesn't. Okay, so they got flung back, but they did get pushed back, so that's good. That's good for me, actually. So they didn't get hurt by that. Maybe they had spawned a quick little spell to block it. There are no pushovers. Okay. Let's see, what do the Royalists do? They're going to create something to fight back. They have some, I'm going to say they create a plan, perhaps? Maybe they're trying to maybe this entire time they're formulating a plan to strike back because it's such a close quarters combat, and now it's even the passage is now even stuffed narrower because of the rocks on both sides of where we are, so we're split. I'm going to say that the Royalists are just at the moment they devised a plan to counterattack the. I think they're going to create a distraction. So I'm guessing the Royalists. I'm thinking the Royalists are in heavy armor, not incredibly heavy, but for traveling, but have a good set amount of armor. So I'm going to say that one of them rushes in. So one of the Royalists rushes in with his shield and sword, shouting as a distraction. The other Royalist tells us to fire our bow the minute he dives. Maybe he's going to tackle or like collide, like a riot gear. He's going to collide into the nearest cultist. So he's going all brute on this one. He wants to push through. So, bow, pull out the bow the moment he dives into the closest cultist. Okay. So we hear the plan. We're going to do it. So we're going to equip our bow. We have a longbow. We're not tracking ammo, so don't worry about that. Or amount of arrows. All right, we're going to fire it, which this will be. I think we're not really long range. I'm going to do 2d6. We are prepared because they told us, so we made us aware. So I'm going to roll 2d6. I got to roll 4 or lower for the rules. 2 and 1. We did it. So we fired an arrow. Shot an arrow straight at the closest cultist. He's injured. Did it kill him? Let's say likely. Did it kill? I'm going to say this is Cultist 2. Cultist 2. No! Oh, come on. Ah. Okay. It didn't kill him. He's injured, but he's still standing. I'm going to say that's the thing. He's injured, but he's still standing. Okay. He is injured, but still. Oh, and still standing. He took the arrow into the shoulder, and maybe he just pulled it out. These guys are much, much more stronger than we thought. So, but Cultist 2 is injured. You have to remember that. Okay. Now it's the last remaining. Uh, well, did that tackle hurt one of the other? I forgot to say that he did tackle with his shield, push one of the other cultists. So did that injure? Did the collision with the cultist hurt him? Yes, likely. It did. Okay, so cultist 3 is now hurt. Okay, good. All right, now it's going to be the remaining royalist. The remaining, let's see, royalist will run and strike the nearest cultist. Well, I'm going to say it's one. All right. Let's do a two. Let's do a expert. We'll do a 3d6 for this one. Now, the thing of the royalists, they are swords, definitely. So 5 or under. I did 2 5s and 1 2. No, 2 5s and 2. So 5 5 2, which means it is a critical success. It's with an extra benefit. Okay. So the royalist runs in while the cultists are distracted by his allies' tackle, or I should say push, and swings his sword at the nearest at cultist. Let's just say nearest cultist. Okay. Now let's do percentile for this one. He okay, he did swing his sword. We actually rolled that. This is a critical. So which means I'm gonna say that he does kill one of the cultists. So his strike does kill one, let's say cultist. Let's just choose a number. Cultist I think 2 was probably mid-range. Killing cultist 2. Okay. How do cultist 1 and 3 react? So cultist 1 and 3 react. Command. Okay, so one of them tells the other to strike back, or they yell, "Get him!" So perhaps one of them is the boss, or just the higher ranking cultist. Cultist 1 shouts at 3 to attack him with perhaps another spell, really loud. So I'm going to say that it is their turn. So Cultist 3 will attack. All right. So at obviously the Royalist one of the 2 Royalists nearby. Okay, we'll do this even. Does the Royalist does Cultist 3 spell? Let's see what spell he uses. I'm gonna say he uses another Ice Bolt. Let's use Ice Bolt. Ice Bolt hit one of the, let's just say hit the Royalist. Does Cultist 3's Ice Bolt hit the Royalist? Yes, but it hits the shield. So it hits his shield, blocking it. Okay. Now it's Cultist 1 turn. All right. Cultist 1 is going to do an even attack here. Cultist 1 will, let's see, what do we got here? Um, Fire a darkness spell. Will conjure a, let's say, a low level darkness spell to bind the 2, to basically bind them together with a shadow, a dark little ring that surrounds them and grabs them and combines them together. The Royalists together. So basically a binding spell. Does it work? It does. So both Royalists fall to the ground, bound by a dark ring. So they can't move. They're trapped. Now it's okay. That was his turn. Now it's the Watcher, or actually, it's gonna be me. I think. Let's say it's me. Okay, I'm gonna strike. So I'm gonna just do my longbow. I fire another arrow at the nearest Cultist. 2 is dead, I believe. So Cultist, let's say 1, the boss. Supposedly the boss. Now we gotta roll. We're not experts, so we're limited to 2d6. This is gonna be 4 or less. It's a physical attack. Shoot. So 6 and 2. We do get the arrow into the cultist, but it's gonna just graze him. So the arrow flies by his shoulder, grazing him. So no go, no injury. Okay. The Watcher's turn. How is he gonna react? What does the Watcher do? I'm really curious because he's kind of neutral. He's not exactly in our complete control. Transform. Ooh, I like that mystical. So transform. He's going to. I don't think he shapeshifts. I think he's going to transform one of the. Uh, he transports something into a creature, perhaps, or a beast. I'm thinking he's going to try to transform. Oh, I have an idea. Kind of goofy. Um, he attack. He's. Let's see. He uses a transformation spell on one of the cultists. So he's going to try to transform or resize him into a small, tiny little person. Uh, Shrinking him down to a few inches. Let's see if he can do this. So this is a prepared. He's a trained. The 3d6, and we got rolled 2 or higher per sorcery. And I rolled, obviously, yeah. So 4, 4, and 5. So which means that it was a complete success. Cultist, let's say 2. Cultist 2 shrunk. Honey, I shrunk the cultist. Shrunk down to a tiny, uh, let's say, the size of like a badger or something. So shrunk down to a few inches tall, which is hilarious. And now it's we already attacked. We already attacked, so we failed. The you know what? I should have fired that at 1 because the one who summoned it, the binding spell, 3. Cultist 1 would conjure a low-level darkness spell. So Cultist 1. Okay, so Cultist. I'm sorry. 2. Oh shoot. 2 is I'm a dork. 2 is dead. I meant to say 3. Not okay. So 3. I remember. Here, correction. Correction. 2 is Strunk. Tiny. There we go. 2 is tiny. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay. With 2 Strunk, can the Royalists shake out? Actually, let's do percentile for this one. All right. Let's say 50-50. I think that the spell is because it was conjured by Cultist 1, so let's say 50-50. They can get out of it. 33. Ooh, they do manage to break out. It takes a bit, so uh, both Royalists break out of the binding spell with brute force. They just lift their arms up and shout, and the shadowy ring gets just dissipates. Okay, that is a move. Now it's the cultist turn, so it's not tiny, but it's gonna be cultist 1. What does he do? Let's see, cultist 1. He can do a couple things here. He can help his friend out, or he can attack, or run. Cultist 1 does what? Let's see what the oracle says. Oppose. Okay, well, obviously he's opposing us. He's going to try to. I think what he's going to try to do is the royalists are right there in front of him. So while they break out of the spell, he's going to try to do it again. So I think he's going to try to. He really wants to resummon that spell. So, cultist, like a broken record, cultist 1 attempts, but because he's under pressure, I don't think it will go well. Attempts to resummon the binding spell. I don't think he's able to because of the distraction of the tiny person, and then They broke out of it, so I'm going to say 35% chance. I'm going to do a dice roll for this one. Can he resummon the binding spell? 35% chance. 34! Oh my gosh, I literally just rolled that. Okay, 34%. So here's what happens. Because that's a strong yes, the spell reappears and binds. Ah, crap. I wrote myself into a corner of this one. Binds the Royalists once again. But here's a slight difference. I'm gonna say unlikely. Are they standing this time? Before they collapse on their hinders. So yes, but they can't move. Okay, so they are standing, but let's say fell against the wall. So it's just kind of a comedic scene, I think. So they did move away. Give a little handicap there. Now it's the Watcher's turn. Tiny is can't do anything. Tiny is Cultistry is tiny. The Watcher, let's see. I think the Watcher's going to do a spell at Cultist 1 to finish him off. Let's say he's going to do. I think he's going to do Grease or Ice Bolt. Let's just say he tries Firebolt once again. So Watcher summons Firebolt at Cultist 1. And we're going to roll the 3d6. He has to roll 2 or higher for sorcery. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, interesting. 3, 2, and 1. So we have 2 successes, which means it does work. The lightning bolt strikes Cultist 1, but not 3. I think if he rolled the perfect 3 dice, then it would have killed them both. But does it kill him? I'm going to say even. Does it kill the Cultist 1? Yes, but okay, it's interesting. What is the but in that? Let's see. Yes, but okay, so Cultist 1, he basically gets electrocuted. I don't think that's a spoiler. Electrocuted and collapses and dies. Okay, so he dies. The but though is going to be, let's see, but let's see what it is. Let's do. What is the but? The topic. A plot arc. Interesting. I think the shocking of this cultist dying has a side effect of the situation. It has a problem. A plot arc. Who would this affect? Oh, I know what happens. It's not necessarily the plot, it's the combat itself. The So the death of the cultist 1 actually causes the binding of the royalists to tighten. So because the cultist died, a spell is trying to shrink, and because of that, it's binding, tightening the royalists together. Even it's getting tight, so it's crushing them because of that. So crushing the royalists. Now, can they break out of it like before? Might be weaker, but it's getting stronger for some reason. So I'm going to say there's kind of a panic here. So let's do 50-50. I just don't know. Let's do 50-50. Fresh roll. 30. Okay, so uh, they are able to break free once again. But are they significantly damaged? Are the royalists severely hurt from that crushing? Severely hurt. Excuse my spelling errors. Yes, and oh, okay. I think it not doesn't incapacitates one of them, but I think it's going to break their armor. Maybe it oh, it breaks the armor one. Okay, so they both are hurt, but one of them breaks their arm from the crushing. Okay, so the spell is gone. Okay, now it's I think it's our turn. Do we see the little tiny guy? Is he around? Do we see the remaining cultist in general view? Remaining tiny cultist. No, but we hear him. So we don't see him, but we hear like little tiny footsteps. This is hilarious. Tiny footsteps. This would be a great title for the episode. Tiny footsteps. I'm gonna do a roll for. I'm gonna my character. It's his turn. So Breglor is going to try to use his. He's not really prepared, but he is a thief, so it might give us a 2d6 on this one. I think. Uh, let's see how this goes. I think this is gonna be a sorcery roll. So 4 or higher to see if we can see him. If we can spot him anywhere. Oh, 2 and 6. Okay. Uh, I'm thinking Army of Darkness here. So 2 and 6. We gotta roll 4 or higher. Six. So it's partial. Um, I spot him, but at my foot, where it's a complication, he stabs me with his tiny little sword. So kind of like a prick, like a nail. He stabs my foot with his tiny sword. It's hilarious. I guess more of like a, it's a like a toothpick at this point. He's trying to attack. Yeah, he is trying to attack my feet. He's like rushing in. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he doesn't have any. I forgot. He's not a. He doesn't have a weapon. Let's just say he has a dagger. It's even smaller then. So like a tiny dagger or something. Okay, so I'm going to just kick him. Let's do a roll for this. This is 3d6. I'm gonna roll to see if I can kick him or step on him. I'm gonna try to step on him. Okay, we're gonna roll 3d6. 4 or less. Of course, I roll completely fail. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I try to lift my foot up. I got 5, 5, and 6. I fail all three, which that's a first. It does not go well. So if none of your dice succeed, it goes wrong. The GM says things get worse somehow. Okay, of course it does. I try to step on him, but he fires. Even though he's a tiny little speck. He's the size of a quarter, or I'm sorry, a few inches tall. He fires a ice bolt, or he freezes my foot with a spell, with an ice spell. Just being vague there. Okay, so he freezes my foot. I probably, I, I'm gonna think I'm going to fall back against the wall, grab my foot, So I fall against the wall, grasping my foot in pain. Okay, now it's just anyone else's turn. I'm gonna say the Watcher's closest, so he's on the strike. The Watcher is going to try to just step on him too. So I'm gonna say Watcher attempts to step on the tiny cultist. This is hilarious. It's a tiny little cultist. It's the cutest little thing. So this will be 3d6, because I'm guessing he's an expert on how to use his feet. So however, it could be a setback. We got to roll 2 or less. So this game really funny, unnecessarily complicated for a tiny little thing. So 2d6, or we got to roll 2 or less. And of course, he completely fails too. So 3, 5, 4, 3. So no go. Because he's a sorcerer with 2 numbers, so we got to roll 2 or less, but we didn't. So uh, he misses after stomping on a sharp, not like a sharp rock or a nail, but I think he's stomping on the floor. Okay, I thought of a funny setback. So, uh, the shrinking, the size spell wears off, and the cultist quickly returns to normal height, causing the watcher to stumble back and crash into the wall. Okay, now it's going to be the royalist turn. I'll just pair them up. So they're going to just attack. I think they're one of them is hurt. So the royalists strike, run up and strike the remaining cultist, hopefully for the finishing blow. So with their sword. Okay, let's roll. They are physical, obviously. So 4 or under, 3d6. Here we go, 3d6. 2, 3, and 6. So 2 of those are successful. Okay, so it is a standard normal success. He stabs the cultist in the back. Does this kill him? I'm going to say likely it does. In the back. Likely. Does this kill the cultist? Remaining cultist. It does! Yay! Okay, so cultist coughs out blood and falls forward. D, D, E, D, dead. Dead. Alright, if anybody who hasn't seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, that's what I'm referring to. D, D, dead. Okay, so he's gone. Alright, good. So that encounter's over. We defeated the 3 cultists, we took some damage. My foot's frozen, so I have to make the note there. My foot is frozen. I asked, whoops, I asked the watcher if he can unfreeze my foot, please. Okay, so can he unfreeze my foot? I'm gonna say he likely can with some. Oh my gosh, he's out of mana. Let's just say, okay, he is worn out of mana. Okay, um, that sucks. Okay, well, I'm gonna pull out my staff to use as a walking stick. So I pull out my staff to use as a walking stick. Now, while I do that, I use this very important item as a walking stick. I'm gonna equip my longbow, and then we go back to this. Now, how does... I'm wondering if the Watcher reacts to this. The Watcher sees the staff. How... What... What does he do? I'm wondering if he has any... This staff has any significance to him. It assists? Interesting. Okay, so the Watcher catches a glimpse. The it does have writing on it. Remember that. A glimpse catches a look at the stick, at the staff, and walks up to me to take a look at it. Okay, so let's do topic. The Watcher reads the writing on the staff. What does... let's see. What does he read? The PCs. Oh, interesting. The player characters, which is us. So regular. I think the staff is a type of weapon that, when held by a user, it becomes in, let's say, it becomes part of the bearer, like a extension. So it allows a person holding it to use their own magical, their mana to use magic. Even though we're not, um, it's basically like like Thor's hammer. Think of it like that. It is just it's a spiritual weapon. Oh, here we go. It's a spiritual weapon. So even though it's partially written, the Watcher believes the staff is a spiritual. Makes sense. It comes out of the Legion's temple, so the temple, the Legion, has to do with spirits and all that. Spiritual weapon of great significance, so of great power. However, the rest of the text is missing due to the broken half. Okay, so let's go to our weapon here. Warnock, spiritual. I'm sorry, that's the crown. Broken. It's a spiritual weapon. So I'm saying it can't do much right now. It's just a stick, but if we find the other half, it might become a very powerful weapon. So the staff is a spiritual weapon of great power. However, the rest of the text is missing to the broken half. So, um, I say that is interesting. Probably why it was locked up back there. So I say that. Okay, let's see. What do the two heavily injured royalty wants to do? So what do the royalists do? Protect. They want to basically lead us out of here so we can get the heck out. So they protect us. They basically say, okay, let's get out of here. We'll lead the way. So the royalists lead the way out of the passage. Okay, so we're walking through the passage. We reach the end. Now, is it going to be uh, an open arch or is there going to be another door? So let's say, is there another door at the end of the passage? Yes, there is. Okay, there is a final door. It's a large wooden door. It's just one handle. It's a one door, not two hinges. There's a final door. Let's see. Does it feel cold? Because we're on top of a mountain. Does it feel? Do we feel a change in temperature? Because if we're near a door going to the outside, there is going to be a change in the atmosphere. So yes, but it is warm. So yes, but it feels very warm. Okay, because of that, I carefully grab the door handle, and let's see. Is the door handle warm? Is the door handle warm? Yes, it is. Okay, the handle is unusually warm. This is really intriguing. I like where this is going. Unusually warm. Can I turn it? Likely yes. Can I turn the handle? Because we're on the inside of the passage. No, I cannot. Shoot. The handle is jammed. And the handle, let's just say the door's locked. The door is locked. From the inside, apparently. Okay. Well, the Watcher says to use the key. That always seems to work. All right, so I use the key. And let's just do a percentage roll for this. 80% chance it works. 32, it does. Okay, so I use the key and it unlocks the door. Okay. I'm going to think that I offer that the Royalists want to open the door because I'm worried that there's something behind it. It's really hot. So let's see. Do the Royalists open the door. No, they don't seem. Uh, they for some reason they have doubts, so they do not want to open the door for some reason. Why do they want to open the door? Let's see. Detail. Why don't they want to open the door? Exotic. Physical. Okay. What can be exotic? Oh my God. Something that's like very. Oh, are they bleeding out, or like is the royalist the busted arm? Is he in so much pain that he collapses? I'm gonna say. Um, that's interesting. Let's say that. Well, the Watcher came through here, I think, right? Yeah, the Watcher came through. Oh, they're looking. Okay, they are looking at the Watcher, asking if he knows why it feels so hot right now. Maybe it's really warming up. So let's see. Is the air getting really hot? No, but it is still warm. No, but it is feeling a lot more. If this is a humid, like it's melting, like or it feels like the air is melting around us. Okay. I'm wondering about the volcano, perhaps. Is there going to be a reason for this? Okay, so I does the Watcher want to explain why? So let's say he does explain. The Watcher, okay, what does the Watcher explain about the outside enemies? Okay, this makes sense. He believes that this heat is being caused by an external force. Enemies mean the volcano. I think it's the volcano. So he believes. I maybe he doesn't. He hadn't seen its effect yet. He believes that it could be the volcano is about to erupt once more. So that means we gotta get the hell out of there. The door's unlocked. We know that. Okay. So I tell them we should leave. I open the door quickly. And what do we see? Let's see. Okay. What do we see outside? Here it is. This will be the end of the episode. Seek simple about average. Okay. What it is? Seek. We're looking. We're seeking something. We're looking at something. We spot something. Okay. We see something. It's simple. It's a path. Okay. We see a path down the mountain. About average distance. Okay, average. Let's say it's less than a miles walk. Okay, it's like a secret path down. However, is there lava surrounding us? I'm gonna say likely. Is there lava surrounding the surrounding us? Yes, but there's a way through. There is lava slowly creeping down the mountainside, but there is an opening to walk down the path. Okay, that does make sense. All right, so that's where we're going to end the episode. It just ends right here. We're standing outside. We finally got outside the temple. and we're about to leave. We got a staff, so this staff could be the next quest for our character. We I think we're done with the debt to pay. It is. I think we're done. So it ended very oddly. We killed Dervish and company. We escaped. Uh, let's go to our quest list. Okay. Discovered the staff is a powerful spiritual weapon. We left the temple, though surrounded by lava. We see a path down the mountain low. Okay, good. So there we have it. The name for this episode will be the tiny. Just is the whole tiny cultist thing was hilarious. Like tiny, uh, tiny. Let's call it tiny. I think that's fine. It's stupid, but it's fine. I might change it when I post about. For now, it's just tiny. Um, that's it. So yeah, I'll save this, put in my notes, and then that's really it. Nothing else to update. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time on episode 32 of The Misfortune.